What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Rise of the Duelist has been quite the show on the fallout, from initial pre-sales to the premiere, aka the modern sneak peek, and now, tomorrow OTSs will be getting this in, able to sell it, and we'll see quantities really hitting the market. The day after, you're going to have all stores able to sell, and through the weekend, the market will develop. But people are kind of antsy here. They're like, should I get the Dogmatica now? Do you think the prices are going to skyrocket? Because a lot of people are waiting to buy in this weekend, but even with a shorted set, like not everybody got their full orders, we're going to see a ton of quantities hitting the market. And early on, I know it's cut off to the side of the screen, people have been talking, it's hard to do this because when we go to another card, it's almost perfect on screen, and then this layout, I need to figure out something for these pages, but it shows the most cards the fastest. Triple Tactical Talents is as low as $72 on market right now, and it is falling out pretty fast, where Forbidden Droplets has dug its heels in the sand before tomorrow at $65-ish. So we're seeing the top cards start to do, and people wondering, is this overhyped, or are these three banned cards all rolled into one? The truth, hype does sell cards without necessarily proof being in the pudding, and this is still a very good card, and that's why it's on top of the set. The discussion more so is, what will the future price point be? And right now, it's on its way down while this is stable. Now, I stand by this, and it's been happening. I said 1 to 2 cards on the Dogmatica, aka the Dragma, would be staying or going up in price, while the rest would fall out, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Ecclesia last night was $15 and jumped overnight towards 22 as people prepared for this deck, while Nadir's Servant has been staying pretty consistent at 50 as the three of it you're going to be playing, while the rest, these tried to originally be 50, have fallen towards 30s, and I think will continue to fall. Not everything in a set can be money. You already have 2 top-heavy chase cards, and then a very hyped archetype. That can't all be money, even if people want to play the deck, and you're going to see fallouts. So it looks like people have kind of picked their 2 cards for now with Ecclesia and Servant was my personal call to stay or go up in price. And the rest of the set, thanks to this top heaviness, extremely cheap, which is awesome. We see the Chaos Ruler, it's been going down towards $10, a great generic extra deck option. Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, we'll get into him more in a bit. And as you saw, I already had Infer Noble Knight Emperor Charles pulled up here. The Noble Knights being cheap was a great surprise. We thought Konami would rarity bump them to heck. Instead, they're very affordable, and the most variants do go synchro, of course, but also there's the handle version. So I showed last Market Watch that you had other cards from the past going up because of these. Well, this is here, and the smoke grenades are disappearing, especially the near mint copies, and there are very few left on market because people plan to be ripping up hands with this deck. Also, with Revolution Dragon, do not underestimate this scale effect. This isn't just for Pendulum, 500 interruptions, best deck ever. Dragoonides is getting a structure deck in the future, and I was talking to Phoenix about this deck, and I was like, post-structure deck, are you still going to implement this? And he said, absolutely. As a 3-of, the scale effect reads, you cannot Pendulum summon monsters except dragon monsters. You don't really care too much about that. The effect that this effect can't be negated, you can target one Dragon Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz monster in your graveyard, destroy this card so it's no longer in the scale, and if you do, special summon the target. It is Revival. It allows you to play through Nibiru. It's a very good card for that, and we've seen so many times when structure decks come out, something from the past rises on up and goes to the next level in terms of people scrambling for it. I could easily see this being something that people aren't thinking about necessarily for Dragoonity, and more eyes are towards Pendulum support. And I'm actually surprised this is that low of a price, with it being really good Pendulum support. So this has more than one thing going for it. Do pay attention to that. And also, Shaddoll Schism is only $5. We can see Shaddoll splashed as an engine very often, and at $5 it's a bit shocking at first, but look at the fallout from Eternity Code thanks to it also being Dark Neostorm-like. Wow, I called Crocodragon being a steal at $3, and now you can get it for like $1.20. Market Man not always right. This card's absurd at $1, a great penny stonk, but it just keeps going down despite it being used in decks around the metagame. And for this, it's not just going to be, like I said, Shaddoll the deck, but you could also suppose Shaddoll the engine with what a great card this is. Man, I wonder how this will actually go through the week. Now, what you're here for in the title, we see Megatin leaks supposedly happening, and I say supposedly, I know, the dreaded word on YouTube, because we can't really zoom in on the set number, and it's a little blurry, but we saw this in the Rocket group, I believe, originally, and this picture has been making the rounds as the first kind of, hey, Megatin leaks are about to happen, it's only a couple weeks away, which means this got broken on either getting sent out early on accident or the distro level, but it does look like Romulus is one of the first cards, speaking of Dragoonity, and Secret Rarity. I don't see like a name imprint from where you would try to lift the foil or make an Orica or something like that, so I do have the inclination that this would be real rather than fake, and they're trying to tease and hype up a bit more about leaks, so maybe they just got their hands on 110, I don't know, but Romulus, take it with a grain of salt, maybe a whole bucket of salt, seems to be the first leak for the Megatins moving forward, along with the Dino Wrestler Fusion. I actually didn't recognize that card, and I thought it might be an exclusive, but we do see that Romulus is on a heater right now, starting to go up in price while it is available as a reprint for the Megatins, and it just makes a lot of sense that it would be getting an upgrade in the tins. So there we have it. Again, I know it's a bit of a grainy picture. I personally do buy it, but do take it with a huge grain of salt that it would be in the tens. Legendary Duelist Rage of Raw cases are back up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market. These have been selling like hotcakes in Black Market, along with Tier 0 are two of the only sources, I love how this is like $1 cheaper, by the way, that haven't been just jacking up the prices or having it disappear by the caseload. People were mentioning other like sites in the comment section that they hadn't looked back up since the Ghost Raw got revealed, and guess what? They're gone from the other sites, and nobody is selling cheap like these two, so you can use What's Good 5 on either site, but I don't know, maybe the EU Ghost Rare won't look as good or will look better. EU has had better ratios in the past for side sets at time than US. It's pure speculation, though, on what would be better for you. Obviously, I would think shipping from YBM would get there maybe a little faster, but again, you have your choice of EU or USA cases and 5% off to support the channel with code What'sGood5 wherever you'd like it. Also, noting how each set seems to be going up in price for sealed right now, no matter what it is, Phantom Rage keeps looking better and better, especially with that new 3000 attack beast reveal the other day. That card is insane. So I would definitely consider, if you are going sealed and doing the Starlight kind of hunt, to hedge your bets with sealed product. It's a huge gamble, especially with how clumping is. I would be getting the cases sooner than later with how product has been just spiking. Now, speaking about a little bit of, oh, the supports here spikes, Melfi, they've been causing, or Marfe, whatever it is, you have it spiking up number 64 that only has 2 printings. We have a rare Raccoon Boy, rank 2. Going up in price, $5 to $8 and more. So that's kind of the eye-browsing buyout of yesterday that we didn't get to, that I figured out on stream when people brought it up. Also, back to Horny Jail Bonk, another Dark Magician Girl spiked up in price. The gold rare version, the DT was going up, and this was also already up. I just happened to miss it. $30 freaking dollars for the old gold that most people don't like. I mean, it's fine if you like the old gold rares. It's your taste. It's your money. I can't tell you how to spend it using my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, but I can definitely say I would not be spending $30 on this card, and I probably wouldn't have bought it at the $15 to $20 range out. The Claw of Hermos is oddly going up, along with other niche things from the Dragons of Legend of Past, even though we have Dragons of Legend the complete series on the horizon. The thing is, the highest rarity in there is ultra rare, and you could actually presume it will get more people looking at old cards, and thus the old rarities, especially first editions, might become more coveted, and it's around $5, which isn't the craziest price for one of these legendary dragons. So I actually see this as something that isn't the worst little price hike going on around here. It's actually kind of big brain when you think about it, but still, reprints are on the way if you want a cheaper version. It'll most likely be in the complete series or whatever they're calling it. Now, final subject here is that the No Sooner Than does come September 1st, and last ban list update was a non-update, kind of a pardon list for a couple of cards, where we saw 3 cards go to 3 off the list, and people are still arguing, will they update or won't they? The thing is, people had that argument without events, and we still got a big list on the list before this list. So moving forward, ban lister speculation as always, we really don't know what's going to be happening, if it will be minimalistic, if they're going to take care of problems. They sure have been pushing remote duels, even though we haven't had a remote duel event. Japan's going to have like a 100-man event, whereas we're starting to get the ball rolling with locals, and I've been seeing official support to locals, such as mic arms sent out by Konami completely for free for locals to give out. So it is very interesting that remote duels are getting pushed harder. Again, pure speculation on how the ban list will turn out, but that's why Link Cross has stayed so cheap for a staple-ish card in almost all the Synchro engine. People are just so scared of this getting hit. I could see if it's not on the list, it's skyrocketing, but for now, I'd kind of stay away till that list. And then also, you see Adamantipator dipping back down. Remember the moment the list released last time? Skyrocketed back up when Block Dragon wasn't on there. There were no hits to it, so do kind of pay attention to the prices on this, and if you're willing to gamble or you're on the market right when the list drops, this is definitely something to pay attention to if you've been thinking about the deck. That being said, thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation and information. It's not often I go with kind of something that can't be completely confirmable to put here. That's why I put the heavy emphasis on take it with a grain of salt. But Rising Rampage, that is a set for the Megatins, and it would just make a lot of sense.